So in the past, the Persian Shahs basically were interested in raiding. And they also had an interest in manpower. So all of those Mesopotamian agricultural estates won't till themselves. So they were kind of insatiable for agricultural workforces and specialized craftsmen and people like that. So they would go into the empire and get them. But in this phase, it seems that Khusro II is taking really to heart the idea that the Persian Empire should really extend to the Mediterranean, as it did in like Achaemenid times, right? In ancient history, the empire that Alexander conquered. So it seems that the Sasanians, this is this dynasty, this Iranian dynasty that's ruling the Persian Empire. Of course, they were aware of the Achaemenids, but sometimes they would have these claims to reviving the former greatness of the Iranian Empire.
Sure.
So, bathing in the Mediterranean Sea is something that many Near Eastern monarchs, they did this as a sign of success. Anyway, for the Romans, it was sheer survival. Just desperate survival, because they knew that this was a war that could end the Roman state.
I mean, they're already on the verge of being ended.
Yeah.
And here they're defensive wars of survival.
Yeah. So it's pretty clear that initially the goal of Arab-Muslim warfare is to unify Arabia. That is, that all Arabs should be Muslim and should be unified into this religious kind of state, whatever, that the Prophet and his successors had created. Now, then they start striking out into Rome and into Iran. It's not entirely clear, like, why. Now, there are obvious reasons. Right? I mean, it's not like a huge historical mystery why a recently formed successful army will decide to take on two very weak opponents who are on their doorstep. Like, this is not complicated.
Yeah, they're pretty effective at military conquest.
Yeah, but they're striking both empires from a direction that those empires had never prepared to defend from. Arabia was just not. Oh, you might get some occasional raiders. You're never going to get an army that's coming out that can potentially conquer you. So the defensive orientations are all wrong. And these two empires have gone through this massive war that has destabilized them. They're low on manpower, low on resources. The outcome is almost kind of inevitable. I don't think there's a great mystery.
And the effect of that is they stripped away the richest provinces of the Roman Empire.
Yes, Egypt in particular. That means now you can't feed Constantinople. Like we talked about the grain from Egypt, right, that came to Constantinople. You don't have that now. And so that means that the population of Constantinople will decline dramatically over the next few decades.